Well, actually, good evening. It is Tuesday, August 16th. Welcome to Crawl or No Crawl. This is Carolyn Holzman. And as many of you know, I am doing an indexation research project, and I have also just launched a little test talking about the valid statuses or status readings that we can get in Search Console. All right. So let's just go real quick. So everything, the Monday was a test day. And what happened was I launched it, and about 9 minutes later, got the first bot visit. I am expecting tomorrow, tonight, that there may be some Search Console update because they have issued sort of an explanation of these Search Console coverage reports, and they changed the very thing which was in some ways the catalyst of the test, but I think the basis of the test is still quite relevant, and I would like to show that to you. I will also, just so you know, I will put this URL in the description so you can get familiar with it. So 2 pages were launched, and one of them was launched through the Google Indexing API, and one of them was launched through Search Console. And I want to show, kind of like compare and contrast, what are the differences, because previously there were 2 valid status reports, one that said indexed, and the other one said indexed but not submitted in a sitemap. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but I believe they're not the same in that there's certain things that Google has to do depending on how they discovered your page. And they can discover it by Google Indexing API. They can also discover it by traffic, as well as submitting by Sitemap. So I've color-coded here so you know this was the page submitted through the Indexing API. And you'll see it first pulled the HTML. And if you've never seen a log like this, this is pretty standard, but yours might look slightly different depending on your host. So it'll always be your domain, then the IP of the visitor. In this case, this is how I know that it was the Google bot and not somebody saying they were the Google bot. I checked these IPs. So as you can see, published at 12, well, that's Greenwich Mean Time. So about 9 minutes later, they come and they pulled the pieces of the page. So this was a render, and this was a full rendering crawl. So crawl, full rendering crawl. And I noted the bots that came. The first one, they were all the mobile Googlebot 11. And that's the newest one. And the status in Search Console right after all this was pages not indexed, crawled, currently not indexed. Okay, fine. Now the next day, it came back and it pulled the robots test. Why would it do that? And if you go back to the 3 indexing systems, there's crawling, indexing, and then serving. And they crawl, but they have to get into the indexing piece, and they need the robots text file to confirm that they're supposed to. That is a page directive that they don't get off of the HTML. They have to go to the robots text and get that. So that's something that has to, this is how their system is brought up. All right. And it was a directive file, and it was a robots text file. And this is what the status was today, that the page is indexed and has a status in Search Console. However, this is not served yet. So I'm going to make a part 2 of this video because I needed more than 5 minutes to explain. So I'm going to go create another video and walk you through what was submitted through Sitemap.